Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man. That's right. I'm trying to be your friend, bro. Help me out. Meet me halfway. Come on. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Yo, let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Yo, let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice, that's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, another calling us Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean, for real, this is what it come to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can be scholarly or we can get gutter. We are the children of our father, and the breast of our mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we beefing while the peen trying to murk us all. You need to chill, my brother. Tell the elder the same, cause on the real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the feds off and get back in the low and return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. I want love, not war. Standing on that floor, and I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe that might be too deep. Yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an adept. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adept is a brother who lived by the universal science developed in the Nile. We call it Islamism, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you, and those that's talking that this ain't Islam. Everything the prophet brought is in the Quran. All the other stuff, prostrate and cover up, is just the start. The nearest place to me, the law is the heart. You can dress like Imhotep, but you can dress like a herb. By the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. York, but he gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine Drew Ali. People refuse to admit it. He the first that ever did it. Europeans hope that the Moors would forget it, but we here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen, and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess a Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Cause if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love. No, I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you. And let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real side, we haven't made no progress since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, that took your bucks, move straight to Hollywood and straight living it up. And y'all bigging it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your bread to help them set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it could blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to misguide you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, let me be your friend. Peace and love, I said you ain't never, and you would never. You ain't never, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever gonna meet one again. So let me be your friend. Peace and love, so let me be your friend. Peace and love, I wanna be your friend. Yeah, let me be your friend. All these men, we ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your, yo, let me be your, I wanna be your friend. Hey, yeah.
So listen, we are the guiders of the nation. There is no need respond to those who feed on those who bleed. We don't respond to bottom feeders. We step on them. We move past them. They have no originality. They have no content. They have no backbone. They have nothing. We are the new leaders of this YouTube thing. We watching while everyone trying to catch up. But we've been long gone. What we doing now, we've always been doing. You just caught up. But you're far behind, with 20 steps ahead of you. So keep making your videos and making me popular. And I'll keep creating new content to take it to another level. Keep me in your algorithms. It's a new day. And nothing you can do to stop it. You dig? It's long.
What? The king is back! The king is back! Let me turn this up! I'ma be that more you gon' remember. The king is back! I'll be that more you gon' remember. To all the way front line till the Lord call my number. The king is back! I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the Lord call my number. You a friend of the more than you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi and Quebec. Told you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off trucks, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European, how to bathe. And look at that women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the Lord call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the Lord call my number. All you super scholars holler, this era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for dough. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you killing, fighting, marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish world, come on and build it with me, let's go. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I'll be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I'll be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, oh yeah.
I be that boy you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that boy you gon' remember. I be that boy you gon' remember. That town. I be that boy you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that boy you gon' remember. LA. I be that boy you gon' remember. New York. I be that boy you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. And the best that ever did it is in the building, man. Do y'all see them chasing me? Let me send the link out to a few people real quick. Listen, do y'all see them chasing me, family? Everybody, listen, everybody is making videos about your brother. Let me tell you something, family. Listen to me. I want to thank everybody that send me links to the videos. When they make the videos about me, send the links to me. Email me at tahawkerbay@gmail.com. Because when I get time, I'm going to chop their head and roll it down the hill. But right now, we don't have time. We're talking about child molestation. We're talking about Brother Polite. We're talking about a child molestation culture right now. So we ain't got time for people who talking about somebody swindle somebody for a van that they didn't even donate to. Let me tell you something. One thing that I did, right? I made sure that I didn't do no GoFundMe. I made sure that I didn't get discombobulated with a whole bunch of people making a contribution. I made sure I didn't do that. Guess what? It's a handful of people that made a contribution. And all the handful of people that made the contribution, if you don't know, now you know, I got the van. The van is scheduled to go through inspection. And then the next time we got a story, hold up. Not to mention, should I get one of the donators that, should I get one of the donators that said, soon as you're ready, let me know and I'm going to pay for the rat? Tell the donator don't. Nah, he ain't trying to listen to you fools. We about to get it popping. Y'all need to catch up. See, listen, you bottom feeders. Before we start the show, you bottom feeders. Let me tell you something. When you are a bottom feeder, you're not getting enough oxygen to your brain. You see what I'm saying? Because you're so low on the bottom. You need some oxygen for your brain. See, listen, and then maybe you will have some supporters like Cryptonomics that made a contribution to the van. Then let me watch how I name them. Maybe you will have brothers like Dominique who made contributions to the van. Maybe you will have contribution from M. Nugent who made contributions to the van. Sister Dolores, Black Hourglass, Faith, Sean, want me keep on? DJ Airman, want me keep on? See, I know who made contributions. And for those who I didn't name, I don't have enough time today. You see what I'm saying? But I love you. And you know I'm going to do right by you. But now these bottom feeders. Listen. When you a bottom feeder, when you a Boo X, thank you, brother. When you a bottom feeder, right? This is happening. Sonny Boxing, when you a bottom feeder. May the Governor, when you a bottom feeder. I'm trying to talk to him, May the Governor. You know what I mean? I'm trying to talk to him, May the Governor. If I didn't name you, you know I love you because you support me. MJ Givens, if you the honey wheat, want me keep naming? Original, what? The original people, want me keep naming? See, I know everybody who made a contribution because I didn't do something foolish. I didn't do something foolish and put up a GoFundMe and ask for $1 million. I put up something where I could control, where I could see, so I can show gratitude for those who made a contribution. And all you weirdos that's talking about, oh, he swindled for a van. You broke fools ain't even make a contribution, so shut up. Just shut up and watch when we go to the next story reporting with the Morse World TV logo dipping. I might put some D's on it. I might throw some D's on it. Yes, Shasha, send me some D's from Detroit. Throw some D's on it. Y'all remember that song? I might throw some D's on that demonstration candy. I might throw some D's on it. That's right. Because we're going to be the only YouTube channel. We're going to be the only YouTube channel with a Morse World TV van. Huh? That's right. That's right. That's right. We're going to get the story. And we're going to make the story is right. Shout out to Kryptonites. We still donating and supporting. They jealous and hating. We got you, GS. Straight support for the truth and facts. Let me tell you something. If I fall off from telling the truth, I will hope Kryptonomics will walk away. I will hope he exposed me. If I fall off from telling the truth, I hope the governor would expose me. I hope and I pray that Candy would expose me. I hope and I pray that El Chris L. Hey, El Chris L say, it's Dom GS. They piss me off. They talk stuff, but I'm going to rock with you no matter what. El Chris L donated to, what you donated to, sis? She donated to Taffa. And guess what? The website is almost up, sis. I remember your donation because I don't get random donations from any and everybody except those who love me. And if you gave me a donation sometime and I don't know you, know for sure that I'm going to do right by you. I'm going to do right by you. I'm going to do right by you. You know what I'm saying? But them bottom feeders, they can't get no support. They can only get spectators. See, it's a difference between support and spectators. You know, Tahaka Bay, I don't understand. Tahaka Bay was with Inky, and y'all ever hear that one talk like that? Y'all hear that YouTuber talk like that? And Tahaka Bay, I don't know. Emily, I say towards the spinners. We run spinners. It keeps spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. I'm dizzy because it's spinning and spinning. Be the more they gonna remember. Hold up, I ain't even got to the show yet. When you be reporting and dropping facts, soon as I finish, I need to get it inspected. It'll be inspected. I'm trying to get it this week, but at latest next week, and then we go to the first story. Emily M, thank you, Emily M. It's gonna be spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning. It's gonna have your head spinning. All you people that's making content. Let me tell you something about you fake bottom feeders. Let me tell you something about you fake bottom feeders. All of y'all. That's bottom feeders and using me to make content. I love it because you know why? Listen to this, family. Listen to these idiots. Listen, let me show these idiots something. Because every time you make content about me, that means you had to watch me. And guess what you did? You gave me one more view than I normally would have. And guess what else you do? When you put my name in the algorithms, it starts to flow. You know what I'm saying? It starts to flow. And then people will come to REORD TV because it's going to pop up in their feed. You know the best thing bottom feeders could do? The best thing bottom feeders could do? Just not mention nobody and ignore them. Because guess what? Every time you type Tahaka Bay in your feed, whether you know it or not, the computer don't know the difference. The computer only see Tahaka Bay, Tahaka Bay, Tahaka Bay, Tahaka Bay, Tahaka Bay, Tahaka Bay, Tahaka Bay. And guess what it do? It thought to put Tahaka Bay in everybody's feed. And guess what else you do for me? You bottom feeders fools. Every time you watch my video so you can steal content, not only am I going to flag you, but you're also helping me because you're giving me one more view. And as my channel builds and YouTube begin to pay me, I'm going to get paid for how long you watch because they don't get paid by views. They get paid by how long they watch. And it's not a whole bunch of money, but I want your money too. So keep on watching, bottom feeder. Let me tell you, listen, let me give y'all something real quick before we get started. You bottom feeders are the epitome of a slave-minded person. It's like you pay for your own destruction. This is what slaves do. You see what I'm saying? For example, you have institutions in the United States of America. You have institution in the United States of America that people buy into every day, and they don't know that they're paying for their own destruction. So check this out. The slave mind refused to look at the intricate details of a thing. And so what happens is they begin to pay for their own destruction. You see what I'm saying? Prime example. Here we go. Prime example. When you go to Rite Aid, hypothetically speaking, Rite Aid supports the pharmaceutical companies. I'm not saying you don't need an alternative, because you do. And I'm not saying you don't need Rite Aid if you don't know no better. But Rite Aid, Walgreens, and any pharmacy supports the pharmaceutical companies. And the pharmaceutical companies, they make medicine in order to maintain people illnesses and ultimately keep them in and out of the hospital to keep them ill. But so every time you go there, you are making a contribution. We're not getting to the content yet. Leave and come back, Terrence. You're not welcome to say nothing yet. You're not welcome. You're going to timeout. You're acting bad. Terrence, you're acting up. It's time to put you in timeout. You're not welcome yet. You know what I'm saying? You're not welcome. Put Terrence Gant in timeout. He talking out of place. He's talking out of place. Terrence, you're talking out of place. Get out of here. Put him in timeout. You got to go in timeout. You're talking out of place. Now you go sit on your bed and you read your comic book until I let you back in here. All right? You're talking out of place. We're talking wisdom right now. You're a bottom feeder too, and you don't want to hear wisdom. You know what I'm saying? All you want to do is play games and wait for the football game come on next week. Listen to some wisdom and learn how to think, little man. Anyway, so these pharmaceutical companies, what they do is they're supportive of maintaining illness, because long as you are ill, you are going to make them rich. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make them rich. Now, it's the same thing when these bottom feeders, because they slave-minded, they don't know how to YouTube work. These, you know what I mean? They don't know how to YouTube or social media work. And they slave-minded. So they think that when they use my name, it's going to get them views. But I learned a long time ago, it don't really work like that, because you got to put in the work. So you're only going to get about 1,500 views top. You're going to be in the thousands of views tops. It ain't going to do nothing for you. It ain't going to do nothing for you, but it's going to do more for me than it do for you. And so as my audience get bigger, as the algorithms get bigger, I'm going to let it swell up. And then I'm going to roll your head like a bowling ball. And the world is going to see that you a fraud. World is going to see that the CMAR scam is a fraud. The world is going to see that everything you talk about is a fraud. So just keep it going. Just keep it going. Just keep it going. I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to let my audience swell to 50,000. And then I'm going to do a video about you and drag you. And the world will know. And you won't be able to sell nothing in this town no more. You won't be able to sell nothing in this town no more. So keep on. So keep on. Because guess what? Let me tell you something. What up, Shame TV? Let me show you something. The difference between me and you, most of you YouTubers, y'all wake up 9 in the morning going live. You know what I'm doing at 9 in the morning? Or taking my son to school. You see, most of you, why you ain't even, as my brother Shashan told me yesterday, you ain't drink your coffee, you ain't meditate, you know what I mean? You ain't did nothing. You 9 in the morning going live talking about the Hawker Bay. And somebody sent me a link. I said, man, look, man, I'm taking the children to school. And then I'm going to go. I'm going to say, stick up. It's a stick up. That'll be $150. Thank you. Next customer, that'll be $55. Thank you. And you sitting up there. And the guy to Hawker Bay and Kev Gills is covering for Saneter. And these people, they swindle people for a van. And I'm like, man, these people got a lot of time on their hand. But y'all know who talk like that? Somebody, I bet, somebody put in the chat, who talk like that? What YouTuber talk like that? Anybody know? Anybody know? Somebody say elaborate on the CMAR scan. I'm actually going to do a video on that next week. Anybody know who talk like that? And nah, it's a woman talk like that. Nah, all right, who thought like it? Well, see, to Harker, see what it is that, you know, he's been scamming for a long time, and now he wants to take up and cover for Saneter because look at Rich, original. Who is that? He got it. Ding, 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 ding. The original man. You know, to Hark, and you know, he scammed people out of a van, and anybody got a Newport? The Harker scammed everybody out of a van. Did y'all know that the Harker scammed people out of a van? Oh my, Love Passy. Shout out to Love Passy. Anybody got a Newport? You know, one of them Newports that drip bounce in your mouth? Yeah. Anybody got a light? Let me say. But anyway, family, we got to get started, family. We got a beautiful show for you tonight, family. Man, thank you for the bottom feeders. Y'all help me out. Y'all do. And I don't take this personal. Somebody sent me a video from a brother Taz and all that stuff don't bother me. Listen, I got bigger things to worry about than someone on YouTube talking crazy. You're helping me. I appreciate you. I thank you. I want to send you a gift. Salute you. To Triple C, to all them people. I want everybody to make a YouTube video about me. I do. So people can come here and then find out if it's true or not. I mean, Pinky Brett got to be most foggy. He sleep with one sister said this before I get started. One sister said, it's a man woman. It's a man woman. At 1 minute they're cool, the next minute they're not cool, and I can't talk to men like that. 1 minute they're cool, the next minute they're not, and the next minute you're not. And I don't talk to people like that. I don't talk to man, woman like that. Sister, when one sees a snake and one don't move out the way and the snake bite him or her, can't blame the snake. Because I seen the snake and because I wanted to be sure that it was a snake and not a worm, and I let it slither a little bit, doesn't mean that I was playing on somebody's intelligence. In fact, I just wanted to be sure that it was either a worm, a gardener, a black snake, a rattlesnake, or a boa constrictor. And then I can't do man women like that. You fool. Well, you're going to learn the hard way. And sisters, let me tell you something, sisters. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take 2 minutes for my sisters. Listen, sisters, don't cover for these swindling slime balls. You're looking like you're thirsty. When you got sisters making videos about another man for a man, you're looking thirsty. Don't be thirsty. Because guess what? That's why the men think they can take advantage of you and then toss you to the side for the next thirsty one. put some value on yourself, right? Put some value on yourself. Make a man earn your respect and everything that come with it. In fact, if you rock with somebody like that, see how much he really like you. See how much he really like you. See if he can be exclusive with you. Because other than that, you're looking thirsty. To protect a liar, to protect a swindler, to protect a known manipulator, you're looking real bad out here, sis. And many people are like, oh, she pretty, she pretty, she pretty, she pretty, she pretty. Pretty don't get it in this world. Pretty get it just as someone can be considered ugly get it. Everybody gonna get it if you're thirsty. With that being said, that's for you, sister. You'll learn the hard way. You'll learn the hard way. Yeah, you're going to learn the hard way. I'm trying to tell you, I'm watching you. I see you every time I get a chance. But with that being said, so family, we got to get started right now because y'all see the video last night with the sister? Let's get started. Y'all see the video last night with the sister? I want to clarify some of the sister position. So real quick, let me see. Let's start off right here. Now, what the sister said was in the video last night, and the video that was stole from me, I'm going to upload it in the throne where the sister claimed that she was doing me a favor by stealing my video. Shout out to the Moorish World TV research team. And I'm going to upload it in the throne so y'all can hear this madness that this sister said, that it was okay. Should I play it now? The sister that stole the video. I mean, should I play it now? Nah, let's wait for a minute. Let's wait for a minute. But let me tell you something. We're back to talking about polite. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth said, remember Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth said, we need to get back to polite because that's what it's about. It's about polite. Well, on the way to polite, we need to get the pit stops. We need to make pit stops and make sure that you're right. You know what I'm saying? We need to, if you ain't right, then you go down with them. You know what I'm saying? So we had to make sure that you're right. And we come to see that you wasn't right. You know what I mean? Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth, you wasn't right. Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth, you wasn't right. You know what I mean? You wasn't right. I mean, Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth. I know you're watching. You wasn't right. But we had to do a pit stop before we carry on with polite or talk about Saneter or talk about King Simon or talk about anybody that you thinking we supposed to talk about. We got to make sure you right. Because you can't be talking about somebody if you ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth, grab a seat. And look, I got one more thing to say. I do that at the end. Here we go. I do that at the end. So would you say that Simon, King Simon, aware of all of the drama, especially with the shooting? I mean, trying to kill a woman, that's like, I mean, to kill anybody, let me keep it up. So what I'm playing right now is I'm asking the sister about King Simon because she mentioned King Simon was aware of everything that's going on. So I'm asking her about King Simon, and here it is. Let's see what she said. But to try to kill anybody over something that's not even yours, over something that you have not even worked for, something that you never possessed, in this case, of the bookstore, and an argument over the bookstore that you did not even work for. You're not a child to inherit. To kill anybody over that is insane. But then to turn it up a little bit more, to attempt to kill a woman who is the biological child of the owner of the property. And I just want to bring a reality that, so King Simon, you're saying that King Simon was aware of all of this and still move forward to usher polite into the limelight?
Somehow, I don't know why, but yes, he did. These people, and this is what he said to me.
So what she explained, and Simon say he's going to be calling in shortly. So what she's saying is, listen to what she says, because all of this is about is, did people cover for Brother Polite in order to usher Polite into the position to play the people out of funds by the way of lectures and everything that come along with it. It was an industry, you know what I'm saying? As Simon pointed out, that when he came on the show, he was like, you know, a lot of money is in the food, and Polite had the food, and everybody else had everything else, and people had the door. So it was a big grab. And so this is the theory, that it was to build up Polite in order, because he was articulate, he was charismatic, to build up Polite in order to create the situation, in order to grab the bag and everybody get a piece. And it wasn't even about uplifting. Check it out.
When I asked him about the situation, he said, I remember you used to speak about it. He said, just be mindful who you speak to. Make sure they are credible. He said, I don't have any hidden agenda because of your father's situation. I said, to be honest with you, you never know who to trust, especially in situations like this. I said, when I told people that he tried to kill me, they brushed it under the rug and act like I was crazy, but continued to uprise this demon. I said, and that includes.
So you hear what she's saying? She says that they continue to uprise, or rather uplift, the demon Polite after he tried to kill her.
Family. He said, I didn't find out about your situation until late. Sorry that you got traumatized in any way. I said, honestly, the older I get, the more I realize that no one cared. I said, and it was all about money to them.
So what she's saying is, and we're setting the stage, and I'm gonna share a few more clips, and I got some new clips that I'm gonna be I got some new clips that I'm gonna share that you didn't hear. But what she's saying is that she is a victim, not only of one who tried to kill her, but also of the conscious community who protected the one who tried to kill her. So in other words, everybody knew that there was an attempt on her life. And now she tells the story. She says this. Y'all remember when she said that her brother got shot? Today she clarified it, because I was like, and she's not ready to go on an interview yet, but she clarified it. I asked her, I said, what do you mean that your brother, that Polite tried to kill you? And I say, allegedly. I said, what do you mean, but your brother gets shot? She said the way that it happened was that the house that Dr. York owned in Brooklyn, she was in control. She was in control of the house. And everyone that was using or occupying the house didn't want to make a contribution to the utilities. Benil, hey, I wish she was live, man. She's a great interviewer. And so I said, so she says that they want to make a contribution to the utilities. And so when you hear that on Balad, that Polite said I scheduled a meeting, so I was accused of attempted murder. This was in Bushwick, something like that, right? He said, because I called the meeting. So the meeting was about who's going to pay for the utilities. Bushwick, who's going to pay for the utility, right? Let me make sure we're not blurry. Are we blurry? Are we good? Let me see. We better not be blurry. No, we're not blurry. We good. And so Polite calls the meeting. When Polite comes, the lights are out. And I want to try to get it right. I don't want to mess it up, because I hate quoting people, because I can misquote people. But she said, when she came downstairs to the door, no, they was expecting her to come downstairs to the door, to open the door. But in fact, it was her brother, stepbrother, who came downstairs and he got the shot. You follow me? He ended up getting the shot. She hears the shot and comes down. But it was expecting her because the meeting was with her. Y'all follow me? And that's what she said. Now, somebody in here says lies. I don't listen. That's what she said. But we hear POLIGHT tells the same story minus the details. So someone said, Ezekiel Perez says lies. Hey, POLIGHT says almost the identical story without the details. So I'm saying POLIGHT was to have meeting with her, but her brother went down because of their religion. It was time to stay and pray. Brother insisted he go and she stay. That bullet was for her. Love Passy. Okay, there it is. There it is. There it is. And now, and I'm trying to bring clarification to this video because when somebody jacked it, they didn't even understand the context of the video. You know what I'm saying? And they was calling the sister POLIGHT wife. They was saying, oh, they didn't even understood the context of the video. And that's what's so funny to me. They steal content and they don't even know the context. I had talked to the sister that gave me context, you know what I mean, to the video. And matter of fact, I talked to her today and we have some sort of conversation that you have to have. We have maybe 3 or 4 conversations where you would have to hear each and every conversation to even understand and put it all together. So the video that was stolen and that I ultimately put out, that wasn't meant for the public because it loses context. But I put it out, and so now, you know, we got to deal with it. We got to deal with it. So, and let me tell anybody that's watching, I don't know the sister or whomever from a can of paint who stole that video. I didn't leak it or give it to nobody. In fact, I strike the channel. Anywhere I see it, I'm going to strike the channel. I got it taken down on a couple channels already. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going to strike every channel because I would never tarnish my integrity to give it to these bottom feeders. Nah. To give it to these bottom feeders? Nah, for what? I wouldn't do that. I mean, and plus, people entrust me with their stories. Hey, you bottom feeders, listen. In order for you to get stories like this, you got to move with integrity so somebody can trust you with their story. And that's how you build a platform. Or you put in some work and you do research so you can show people the real. Build an integral build a platform with some integrity. Now let's go. Let's go to number 2. Number 2. Oh, it's about to get heated up in here. Let me see. Here we go. Let's go back to Simon.
The text from between me and King Simon.
How old is the text?
The text is probably about 2 weeks old.
Okay, I got you. So 2 weeks old. He's claiming that he wasn't aware of the situation that you're describing now.
He said it wasn't. He's saying that he wasn't aware about it until it was too late. The whole everyone knew about the shooting. Everyone knew about it.
Yeah, because
this is the text.
So she's saying, as you can hear, and Simon, suppose I sent them the link. She's saying that Simon knew, everybody was aware, and I would imagine so because but I would love to hear King Simon. I would imagine so because I mean it was a close-knit community at some point. It was a close-knit community at some point. Like, who wouldn't hear about somebody getting shot in this type of community. But I think King Simon probably would have something reasonable to say after I speak to him. He always seems to come through in the clutch, and I'll be like, oh, okay. So hopefully he'll come in and give us some understanding. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he'll come in and get us some understanding. But here we go again. Because Bushwick is not like the whole state of New York. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and then this is what he said back to me. He says, yes, it is about it. Basically, it's about money. And he said, be safe and have a good evening. He said, integrity has been removed from our community.
So again, she's saying that King Simon is admitting that this was all about money. Now, let me do this. Somebody had pointed out that Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Yep, it's yes, Black Scion. Somebody had pointed out that Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth said, see, he told you Simon was this and he told you Simon was that. Wouldn't that implicate him of knowing the same information and still running with Brother POLIGHT? If Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth says that Simon knew everything and a sister was intended to be killed and a brother got shot and you were around that time, wouldn't you know too? Wouldn't you know too? But you still stuck around? If everybody know and you say Simon was there, Simon did this, and Simon did that, and Simon did this, wouldn't you know too? And you still stuck around all the way. This was before POLIGHT joined forces with Saneter. No, I don't like him. You're correct. You're correct, Chapman Green. I don't. He's disingenuous. You don't. But you were there to witness. Remember what I told y'all? Remember what I told y'all? I brought Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth on the show to tell you what? To tell you the history of the conscious community. That was the initial interview with Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth. That was the reason he was on here. It wasn't to do a blog show. It wasn't to do a partnership. It wasn't to do a panel. It was because I knew that I seen Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth in some of them pictures. And I knew that he will be able to give us a critical analysis. However, now thinking a little bit more deeper, I'm like, hold up. He kept saying red pill, blue pill. Y'all don't remember that? He kept saying Simon. He knew everything that they knew about. But one thing he never mentioned, that if they knew, he had to know too. And he still stuck around until POLIGHT joined forces with Saneter. This is called critical thinking. If you're not a critical thinker, you don't belong here. Somebody need to check on my sister Faith. I haven't seen her in a while. If anybody knows Sister Faith, somebody need to check on. This is called critical thinking. Last but not least, I'm going to say it one more time. If Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth can say
that Simon knew, and then somebody will come back now after the video drop and say, see, Salt Pepper Gold Teeth was right. He told you Simon knew. But how would he know that Simon knew without him knowing? This was before. And he stuck around. Critical thinker. Critical thinker. Do you feel me, critical thinker? It only makes sense. And the people that think that they are riding with Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth, they not critical thinkers. Look, somebody said, you would have to claim he knew. Again, newbie, last but not least, if a snitch can tell how many people is in the bank at the time that it was robbed, where would the snitch have to be? If the snitch can name and identify everybody there, where would they have to be? If the witness can name everybody that was there doing a crime, where would the witness have to be? Right there. So if he says King Simon was there and we hear all of this and the sister says everybody knew, guess who else knew? Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth, he knew. Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth want some of that dirty money. It ain't work out right. Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth wanted some of that dirty money. Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth got tired wearing fake Louis. Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth still wearing fake Louis because he couldn't get none of that fast money. I'm trying to tell you. Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth trying to take care of them babies, but he ain't doing it the right way. Take care of them babies the right way. Go get a job. Fill out an application. Do some Uber. Do some what they got now? They got Amazon something. You know what I mean? Do something. Do something. You ain't gonna do it like that. You ain't gonna do it like that, Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth. Let's go next one. What we got next? Thing is this. Let's go. No, hold up. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. That wasn't. Y'all ain't ready for that one yet. Remove that one. Because I got some new clips I'm about to share in a minute. Let me see. Oh, I think that's it. Wow. Wow.
That was our last conversation.
So I'm going to ask you one more time because I might have to use this if I ever interview him. Are you of the thought that Saneter, let me start with King Simon, that King Simon was fully aware that POLIGHT was a detriment to the community by what he committed towards you and other things that we probably haven't got time to mention, and proceeded to promote, push, and elevate him to the top of our, what they will call conscious community? Is that what you're saying?
That's a fact. They did it for money. All of them did it for money. All these people were blood hungry for money. And that's why I said what I said about them, that you people did it for money. Y'all brushed it under the rug and continue to put.
So I think absolutely. Somebody say I do Uber. It's perfect. Quick come up. Absolutely. And it's honorable. I give. It's honorable. People make good money off of Uber and the other little carrying things during this pandemic. And it's honorable. I'd rather make an honorable dollar anywhere, any day, than a dirty dollar. A dirty dollar don't last. It never do. Now, that was King Simon. King Simon said he's going to call in. So she also talked about, and I got 3 clips right here, and then we're going to move on. She also talked about, now,
for Saneter. What role do you think Saneter played? Do you think he played the same role as King Simon, fully aware of the atrocities that was committed and the nonsense that was brought by POLIGHT, not only to you and your family, but even to the community, and Saneter overlooked it to promote POLIGHT for the sake of money?
I believe that these people were being paid. All of them were being paid, and I believe that this lady.
Now notice when she talk about Saneter, she says, "I believe these people were being paid." And in a clip, I say, sis, I am of the same thought. And I've said it time and time again. And this is just my truth. The way that Brother Saneter was being biased for POLIGHT in those debates, I thought, like, hold up, there gotta be a check coming from somewhere. But maybe it was a part of the plan to elevate him. I don't know. But I said the same thing years ago, like, because POLIGHT was like on some super pseudo stuff. He was on some crazy pseudo stuff, and it will always go his way. I'm like, what? No matter what. And so I always said the same thing. So maybe Saneter will come in and he can say that ain't so. But I'm telling you, it was so biased. Y'all ever watch those debates back then? Press one if y'all watched those debates. I mean, they were crazy biased. Crazy. Like, man, this got to be somebody paying to get. And then they came up with the young phenom. Like, man, this is the WWE. I'm going to beat the Huckabee and I'm going to go and break this demonstration up. That's what I did. I lost my witness. I'm going to beat the Huckabee. I ain't going to beat Toronto. I'm going to beat the Huckabee and I'm going to break this demonstration up. Up. The hell to say Tahaka and Toronto is synonymous? Oh, man, it's time to go to war. They keep talking about these boys. It's time to go to war. So let me get one more. We got our brother in the building, brother and sisters. Brother King Simon has just hit the link. He's in the building. But I got to do this last two slides real quick before we do it. Brother King Simon in the building. Y'all hear me? Woo. Here we go. Same thing, sis.
This lady, Patricia Lewis, had a lot to do with paying these people because she's definitely involved in it. She's a person that tries to hide like she's not there, but she's there. And this lady said to me when I was in the building, when I was in my father's house, she said to me she was upset because when Sister Samira died, because she was the original caretaker of 717 Bushwick Avenue, when she died, she just bombarded herself inside of the Bushwick Avenue store. And what she said to me when I spoke to her about, these certain situations is, she said, I spent 12 years in my life and I'm not walking away with nothing. That's what she said to me. And I believe that woman, she was definitely helping, supporting King Simon and POLIGHT. And she might have been also paying Saneter as well.
And same thing, sis. Hold on. So she's claiming that in order to elevate POLIGHT, and if y'all seen the video is out there. In order to elevate POLIGHT, she's claiming that that this lady, Patricia, was, she don't know for sure, but with all intents and purposes, was financing the elevation of POLIGHT, and she didn't, as you can hear, we got to be fair. She implied. She said, I think. So she implied. So we got King Simon here. Let me get one more real quick. We got King Simon here. And you know, I've always thought that Saneter was getting a check from somewhere because the way that he did his platform, it was so biased. And it was so biased for POLIGHT to win. Even when POLIGHT
they never
was
wanted to hear
crazy.
my side of the story. They never wanted, these people never wanted to hear my side of the story at all. Never. They didn't want me to speak about it. Everybody wanted me to just shut up, stay dormant, and that's it. And as you see, that's what I've done for years.
So last but not least, before I bring on Brother King Simon, in talking to her, that is her story. That she, and you're going to hear in a later clip where she said that, yeah, her family reached out to Saneter, that her family tried to put she tried to put the story out, but she was blocked at every way. And so she kind of just fell back because no one would hear her story. And the only reason that she's telling her story now is because POLIGHT got incarcerated. And that's why. But she's saying that the entire, not one, everybody that you can name, and you'll hear that in a minute, everybody that you can name that has a colorful name within the conscious community was aware and did nothing. That is her claim. That's her claim, and that's her gripe. Do y'all understand that? Let me make sure y'all understand. Somebody say, why not go to Real News? Look at this. Our mayor say, why not go to Real News? Our mayor think the European is Real News. Y'all see this? Y'all should boo him. Our mayor say, why not go to Real News? Our mayor think that the European, so-called white people, so-called Caucasian is the real news. Y'all see this? See how messed we are? Why did I go to Real News? These people crazy. This is where we at. This is where we at. You see what we got to deal with? Y'all see that? Who knew? Man, this is crazy, man. Go to Real News. Fox. Let's put it on O'Connor in the morning. People crazy. Black gods of Yahweh. Praise Yah. Whether I agree or disagree with all your methods, you're exposing frauds in the so-called black community. I appreciate you, gods of Yahweh. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. And that's right. My methodology is my methodology, but it's all for a good cause at the end of the day. Let's get with it. Let's see if we can get Brother Simon up in here. And I'm going to just drop the mic and let him flow. Numeral Vation. I guess that's what that is. Brother Simon, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God. Now, Brother Simon, let me say this.
Yes, sir.
You know how I do my show.
Yes, sir.
And you know I put a lot of emphasis on what people say.
Yes, sir.
To bring clarity to their statement.
Yes,
now,
sir.
But anybody that ever watched my show, I've always had my platform open, not only, and I just want to take 2 minutes, not only to question me,
yes, sir,
but to also respond to any allegations that is alleged against them. And so this is one of the reasons that Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth couldn't last here, because
who is that? I don't know who that is.
That Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth, he couldn't last on a platform because the moment that I said that you got to face these people that you're talking about, would you face Simon? Would you face Dr. Reggie? I don't need to talk to Simon. I don't need to talk to Dr. Reggie. Dr. Reggie lived with his father. I don't need to talk to Unc. Unc is a drug addict. So Salt and Pepper Gold Teeth could not last here because the platform is built on transparency. And if one is accused of something, no matter how much hype I put on it, no matter how much twist I put on it, I want the one who is the topic or the subject matter to have a chance to have a voice too, because I wouldn't want my voice silenced if somebody said something about me. So I'm going to yield the floor and give it to you, brother.
First and foremost, I want to thank you. I want to thank your audience, your great audience. I want to thank them because I've gotten a lot of response from the last time I was on here. Enjoyed it.
You're a big deal, bro. You're an easy interviewer, brother. I wish I could get you on here for an hour.
One day that will be allotted to you, my brother. You know, but you remember, and I first and foremost remember, I sent you an email.
Right.
After I watched the clip that was quote unquote stolen. Okay. And I'm going to read that email because I CC'd it to you. After I sent you the email, I CC'd it to her, Khair, and I CC'd it to her mother also, because I'm close to her mother also as dear friends for many years. And am I allowed to read it, sir?
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. I'm going to give you the floor. Absolutely.
Okay. So to the family, thank y'all very much for allowing the numeral Vader to be in front of you, because I keep up with the numbers. And I said, peace, Khair. I wanted to CC this letter I sent to Brother Tahaka Bey after listening to your interview online tonight, just out of respect for your perspective. Then I said, this is the letter that I sent to our brother Tahaka. I said, peace in Islam. Although I love and respect and her perspective, also her mom and I are still close friends for years, I do not know why she, Dr. York's daughter, Khair, is telling you that I knew all about her and her stepbrother's shooting situation with Brother POLIGHT at Bushwick Avenue bookstore. I only heard bits and pieces of the story from her perspective. I never heard the full story from her mouth because we were always seeing each other in passing. We never sat down and fully spoke about it in person or over the phone. I only heard bits and pieces from her, and maybe her mom mentioned it. Remember, I was introduced to Brother POLIGHT in 2009 by a reverend POLIGHT lived with on Halsey Avenue in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Also, when asked about the shooting situation, Brother POLIGHT told his side of the story at lectures and in public forums and numerous times, and said it was in self-defense according to him, Brother POLIGHT. Also, according to him, Brother POLIGHT, he was vindicated through the courts. Again, I never knew the whole story about that incident. I was never a Nuwapian under that doctrine. Like I've said before, I worked with Brother POLIGHT because a good elder and reverend who remained nameless because he's dead, he transitioned, in our community introduced us and said I should allow him to open up for Dr. Sabi on November 14, 2009. At my 14th celebration in promotion and productions. That's the first time POLIGHT ever spoke for me, and that's when he opened up for Dr. Sabi, because that elder who was a reverend in a big church in Brooklyn that POLIGHT spoke in before me, before he ever met me, and he loved his energy so much, and he wanted to support the young brother at that time. I continue in the letter, say also POLIGHT and his wives were willing to produce flyers, help promote the event, and they cook food for the event to make his money just because he was an opening speaker. And that impressed me more. And let me stop right there real quick, because it impressed me as a promoter. You never get people that will promote you or speakers that will promote as heavily as you promote as a promoter. So that's what really impressed me, because remember, I've been promoting since I was young. So most people that are artists, especially in the music industry, expect you to promote and then pack the place for them so they can just perform. But when you get somebody that's an artist or a speaker that promotes, that is something that touches my heart. And I've seen him go on the train with his wives and his children to give out flyers and promote these events. So I'm impressed as a promoter. So let me finish what I said. Also, like I said, like she said, Dr. York's brother her uncle on Bedford Avenue, Khair's uncle, also co-signed him, Brother Polite, as a good brother by renting a storefront out to him to conduct classes and sell handmade products, books, newspapers, and he and his wives produce. So that is my basic part of the story. And by the way, I also knew Dr. York's brother, her uncle, who was also a good elder I've known for many years. FYI, I took my Islamic Shahada in 1984 and moved into the Ansarullah community in 1985 and lived in that community from 85 until 1988. The Nuwapian doctrine did not exist at that time. From your brother in truth, Brother King Simon. That was the letter that I wrote to you.
Exactly. And I received that. Let me ask you this. She said that you was her spiritual uncle. And you being her spiritual uncle, and Polite, you mentioned that Polite was vindicated by the courts, and you heard according to him about the authorities. You said, and you heard his story many times at lectures and all of that, and you said that he said it was in self-defense. Have you ever personally heard her story from her?
Never heard a story in completion, never. Always bits and pieces like this and like what's happening now. Always in bits and pieces. And then remember what she said in that interview you did. Some of her family was against her. She said that in your interview. So that's interesting that her family was there. So again, why Polite even came under my radar is because of one elder who was a reverend that Polite lived with. And then the brother of Dr. York, her uncle, her blood uncle, co-signed him by renting out the stores and doing what they did. Not going to mention his name because he's not even in America anymore. So he's an elder right now. I don't want to even get these elders, so I'm not mentioning any names. So we got to really be very careful and get the full perspective again. It's all about perspective because remember, the people that's involved is the people that she mentioned. She mentioned Sakina, who Polite and Water was under in that bookstore, in that building. Mentioned Water, mentioned Polite, mentioned her and the stepbrother getting shot. And then she mentioned Muhammad, which was Emil, the wife of Brother Polite, quote unquote, wife of Brother Polite, who also came down to see what was happening. She mentioned all that in the story. And then she threw one of her sisters under the bus and talked about her mother and all that. But let me say something to her personally. We love you. And I feel, and I know that you know we love you, and you know your mother and everybody love you, but you need to get some consultation. You seriously need to get some consultation because, and not because of a shooting, because you're hurt, you've been through, you said it on his interview, you've been molested, you went through the foster care, you've been hurt. And most of those people, think about this. Dr. York had over hundreds of children. You think he got to share time with them? So of course there's father issues there. There may be a little mother issues there. There may be we got to really think that whatever's happened, I never stifled her voice. Polite was just introduced to me from elders, and I respected those elders and put him on. And because he showed so much zeal as a young person, who I've supported many young people and young women in this community, put them on stages, new stages. I've put various people, and you can check my track record. I've put multiple people in front of my stage. But he was the one who wanted to open up and cook food. I never paid him like that. He always got paid through his food and his books. So I let him open up for Phil, Ashra Kwesi. Matter of fact, that lecture that your friend there who was on your line there, Minister Inky, he was the one that said, oh, that was Phil Valentine's lecture. But if he did look carefully when he was talking about Renentet coming down off the stage, if you look carefully, you see Ashra Kwesi's wife right there. So that was Ashra Kwesi's lecture, not Phil Valentine's lecture. And Polite never paid for Phil Valentine, never paid for Ashra Kwesi. He paid himself through his food that they were very good at because they used to own a restaurant that the Reverend helped them to get years ago. And he paid through his book. So every lecture he produced a book. The man was an entrepreneur. I went on train one time with Brother Polite and his wife and seen them raise up to $200 to $300 to $500 on the train, asking for money and giving away flyers and telling where his bookstore is and selling and selling papers. I seen what all his wife and children could do. So If a person like me who is with integrity sees somebody putting in that work, you want to support them. Let's go back to Dr. York. Sheikh Dawood supported Dr. York. Dr. York, in the beginning of his stages, was walking from Bronx to Brooklyn to tabligh people. When you see young brothers doing things and doing like that in the community, no matter what happened to them throughout the interim of life and what power has done to them, you try to support them with our hearts and integrity. That's what we do. I supported people. I've been in the Nation of Islam, supported Khalid, supported Minister Farrakhan. I've supported Dr. York. I've supported all these people. But I always came in with my love and my heart and my integrity because I was always a natural promoter. And if I believe in something with my heart, I'm going to help them. That's just what that is. Go ahead, brother.
The sister seems to put on the record that she felt that she was neglected, even as you say this, and I'm not antagonized, I'm just trying to give some perspective. Even as you said that you put your energy towards POLIGHT and you put your,
but it wasn't about POLIGHT.
It's work ethic. It's work ethic. It's work ethic.
Right. It's work ethic.
You've seen his work ethic, and you put a lot of interest in that because it inspired you to assist a young brother like that had that type of work ethic. I get that. She's saying that, but she's on the flip side of that. She's saying that, what about her being attempted to be murdered and her brother being shot? Nobody gave any attention to that. I think that's her real big concern.
That situation took place in 2007, 2006. I had no involvement with POLIGHT. I don't know him. I didn't meet him until 2009. I know nothing about that until later. Oh, nothing. See, they see that timeline, chronology has to be put in place. And then remember cause and effect. What caused them to get into that beef? What makes
her story is that nobody was paying the bills. She was living there, and they were supposed to have a meeting.
Right.
And I don't know the greater details of what transpired.
Exactly.
But somebody have to show up with a gun because POLIGHT said he called the meeting though.
Right, but exactly, but nobody knows except those people.
POLIGHT called the meeting, but
I wasn't. But think, Mo, I'm not there. I wasn't there.
I'm just saying,
I'm not part of that.
From her vantage point, POLIGHT calls the meeting, and it fits both sides. It was to address the utilities. POLIGHT give a story around something about the house, but he doesn't go into great detail. And she says about taking care of the maintenance and the utility of the house. And POLIGHT says he calls the meeting, but then whether it was POLIGHT or those on his team shows up with a pistol.
That I don't know. I don't know that part. I wasn't there. I don't know that. Like I said, I'm getting bits and pieces of the story.
But you said that you heard POLIGHT tell the story.
Yeah, he's told it numerous times on stage.
What I'm saying is we can surmise that somebody showed up with a gun on POLIGHT's side and somebody was shot. We can surmise that. Definitely surmise that. Now, the point is if that happened in 2007 and y'all heard about it, or the conscious community heard about it in 2009, her I think her problem is that even from 2007 to 2009 and beyond, no one addressed it, that someone tried to kill her and her brother. That's her problem. I think that's what we have to underscore. That's
valid from her perspective again. Because if you talk to family members around her, they have other perspective. I'm not going to get into that because that's family business.
And that's all we know is her perspective, that she got blood on her. She got blood on her from her stepbrother being shot. POLIGHT gets taken into custody. The neighbor says the guy threw the clothes in the trash can, and then all of that goes away. And her rationale, for the audience that don't know, her rationale was they've been groomed not to even deal with the authorities. They were young and they had been groomed
for the community.
Not to even deal with the authorities. And so at that age, they kind of just chalked it up and was hoping that the community would respond to this situation, but they left her high and dry.
Yeah, but what's so funny about that, though, POLIGHT was also able to come back to that community probably a few years later and do a full lecture there, still in that same bookstore. And I think I ran into her at that time and we hugged each other and she kept it moving and doing her thing, but again, with family and what they went through, like I said, I only heard bits and pieces of this story up to this day. And because I had family around her come and support, and she said it, even her family came and support some of the stuff. Sakina never paid none of us. Sakina ain't about paying nobody. She wants to get paid. That's Sakina. Let's stop playing. That's one thing about Sakina. And I only knew Sakina through passing because she was one of those people that was on 125th with Saneter, but she was up the block. And Saneter did not know her, especially during that POLIGHT era. So she put in POLIGHT. See, she throwing people in the mix and don't want to put the full story. We did not get paid by Sakina and getting paid off. And when I wrote that text to her, at the bottom of that text, when it says, yes, it's about, she said, honestly, the older I got, the more I realized that no one cared. It was all about the money to them. And I said, yes, it is about it. Be safe and have a good evening. Then I continued and said, integrity has been removed from our community. And she said, it never has been. It never had. She said it was never in the community. And that's a lie. Because she should never say that, because her father started that community with integrity. And every time in the community, it was about money, because if you wasn't bringing in the $100 per man per night, you was considered a bum. So don't play with about money, and it's about money. Everything in raising and building a community and paying bills and families and businesses is about money. So in her case, she may think it's about money. Nobody was paying us off. Nobody was paying us off to not talk about her story. She became obsolete because we wasn't hearing about her no more. Her family wasn't even dealing with her that much no more. She was doing her own thing. She's a model. She does design. She does clothing. She does her thing.
She actually says that, though. She actually says that she pretty much she got fed up because the community kind of
her own family too. Let's not say community, whole family too.
So this is what I'm saying. This is what she's saying. She's saying that whether it was the family, whether it was the community, I'm saying it's all inclusive, that they pretty much looked at it and said,
yeah, but it wasn't. But Tahaga, it wasn't the conscious community. It was the Nuwapian.
No. That's what I'm saying. Listen. I talked to her today, and
clear that.
And I asked her specifically, and she talks about the Nuwapian community, and she segue into that the conscious community from promoting POLIGHT overlooked it. So I mean, what we're talking about is that when we say conscious community, it seems to be all inclusive, but she actually comes back. No, but she comes back and clarify. She said the Nuwapian community was dirty, and much of her family was dirty and ignoring her. And by the time POLIGHT was advanced, what we call the conscious community, they began to protect POLIGHT, and no one would ever address that he tried to kill her and her stepbrother.
No, that's not true, brother. It's not that people don't address. People ask the question. He spoke about it numerous times about his story with that whole thing.
Nobody, but I'm saying nobody addressed it in her defense to see if she was all right, to see how did she feel about being her life was attempted murdered. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about POLIGHT's speaking on it. We're talking about no one, according to her, no one came to her defense, and no one even cared about where she stood on the measure.
You know what's so interesting, brother? That's why you got to fill in blanks. Even, again, we love that sister. She's born again, like I said last time about those number threes. She's born on the 3rd of the month, and they love this drama. They love the hype. They like the energy. I spoke about this again. And she's born, I'm not going to tell you what month she's born, but she's born under that 3 energy. And that 3 energy love that reckless talk and that scandal and all that stuff. They like the limelight. Cool. But even in her history, she's called cops on everyone, even on her own family and siblings. So this is something ongoing here with some of her own family. So if people pushed her to the side because she kept on doing certain reckless things, even to her own family, POLIGHT according to him, got exonerated from that court system. What am I supposed to do? Go and check out? I don't check out people. I got things to do. I've got multiple streams of income. I got no time to be playing games with people. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this before POLIGHT, and think about it. Both her and POLIGHT is born 1983. I got my Shahada in 84. They was 1-2 years old when I was doing this. So I've been doing consciousness or that stuff before they was born. I was in the 5% when I was 15 years of age. So they wasn't even born when I was doing this. So I got no reason to lie to none of them because I'm not afraid of none of them. But I do want both of them. Her, POLIGHT, her brothers and sisters, all of them need to heal from whatever they're going through, from their father issues, their mama issues, whatever they're going through, they got to heal because we love them that much. Because I was close to Yadallah. May he rest in peace, the older brother. I was close to Jacob back in the day in that community. I knew Ish. I know Kedar from Erasmus. Well, I'm from there. That's where I'm from. I grew up there. Like I told you in the last message, like I told you and your family and on the show, Dr. York's message saved my life. You understand? So if Dr. York's own brother co-signed him from the African Islamic mission, and I won't say his name, but that's the mission that he had. And if a reverend and elder that used to support me at all my lectures came and gave him, and then Dr. Sabi cut off everybody to speak and said, let him speak. I respect my elders. Always have. Always have. So POLIGHT, whatever he gone through and whatever he became powerful and then power corrupts, absolutely. We all know about that whole saying. It gets, whatever happens, that's what happened. But between him and her and all those people involved, they needed to resolve that. I'd sit down and do that. And if she's going to pull up the court again, let her do that. If that's what she wants to do in POLIGHT, I want to see her get her day. But she can't just throw everybody under the bus like that. That's not right. She can't throw on the bus.
I think Simon is that she said that you was her spiritual.
Because I knew her since she was a child. Because I knew her since I was a child.
And so, I mean,
remember, we used to bodyguard though. We used to protect the children's bait and the women's bait. We had to do security overnight for them.
This is what I'm going to say. If to play angel's advocate, if she, because I ain't gonna play advocate for the devil, I don't got time. But to play angel's advocate, if she says that you are her spiritual uncle, or was it spiritual uncle?
Spiritual uncle, because there's a lot of brothers that was in the community that was protective of the children back in those days.
If she says that you were her spiritual uncle, and she see that you are promoting, even a few years later, someone that tried to take her life, isn't that reasonable that she should feel some type of way?
No. That's what I said. That's what I said. That's her perspective again. But if this man went to court, got locked up, and then was brought back out of court and was exonerated or vindicated through the courts, that means something ain't pan out right.
According to her, they in some way they took him in for questioning, but they would not cooperate because they was groomed not to cooperate with the authorities. And without their cooperation, they let him out. You follow what I'm saying? And so when things like that happen in our community, I think it would be imperative for us to hear both sides of the story. Just because the authorities let you out don't mean you're not guilty. We see that all the time. And so I'm just saying, being an angel's advocate, I'm just saying that I think she has justification to feel the way that she do if you are, one, her spiritual uncle, two, you're raising someone up and supporting them because of their work ethic, which is a noble thing. But she's from the advantage point that this guy got to kill me, and my spiritual uncle is raising him to some sort of stardom.
And again, it wasn't about me raising Polite. He opened up for all the major lecturers. Delbert Blair was the ones I was focused on. Phil Valentine is who I was focused on. Ashwa Kwesi, who I paid and focused on. Those were the ones that Ray Hagins, those are the ones I focused on. Dr. Africa, those are the ones that focused on. He paid himself through his food and his books.
Let me ask you this. Do you understand what I'm saying about?
No, I understand that, but please know that this sister been going through a lot, even with her mother. She called cops on her moms. She did all kinds of stuff. So when you got to put this stuff in perspective. Right. And if you're not willing to put the perspective, I'd rather have, and I know the mother ain't gonna come up here, so big up to that mom. I'm not gonna shout out her name, but she has been going through these ups and downs throughout her life. It's not, I mean, certain things I can't even say because I don't want to go down. That's their family business. But she has been the one who just get reckless with certain things. And we all love her, and she's only considering me her spiritual uncle because I'm still connected to her mom. Her mom made my clothing when I was a reggae artist. When I left that community in '88, she made my clothing as a reggae artist back in those days. So I'm that close to her moms like that. We're friends. So that's why she still considers me that spiritual. But all that stuff, '88. From the time I left, 2007, this happened. I don't know none of the stuff that she's going on. All I'm hearing is bits and pieces. Again, Polite comes into my life through a reverend and the brother. That's all I'm hearing. He's showing himself. He named himself the young phenom. And then everybody flowed with it. That's what he named himself, the grand appellation. And then everybody, because he started a community. Because he was up under Sakina and the Nuwapian community. That was his base. And even the brother of Dr. York gave him a store to build his base. And he was packing classes then. Everybody knew that. I never went to none of his classes in that Nuwapian thing. It's only that I went to visit the store just to go and meet him for the first time. And he wasn't there. I met one of his wives at that time. I met Raet. And that was the time. And then I left because I had a bicycle problem. I went over there and I knew the area. And I knew it wasn't his per se. I knew he was renting it. But again, what I hope, if she has clear evidence of what has happened, she has to go to the courts and reopen that case on Polite and do it. But she can't keep on trying to put Saneter in there. She put Saneter in there. Please take that Saneter out of her mouth, because Polite was not affiliated with Saneter back in those days because Polite was even afraid to go.
Perspective.
Yeah.
When she says Saneter, she's saying that as Saneter got involved and began to promote Polite,
but he ain't know nothing about that too. He ain't know nothing about that.
No. But she said what she's saying is that he did know, that she tried to tell Saneter the story, and everybody ignored her story and continued to push Polite into stardom.
Now, is that true? But I know Saneter said he never.
Saneter said he was going to respond. He was going to come in and respond, but I sent them the link, so I don't know why he didn't hit the link. But
look,
but that's her story, though. That her story is not that Saneter was there. That after the fact that the whole community knew, and no one would address it at any time, no matter who she talked to. And they continue to sweep it under the rug and raise Polite up to the phenom that he called himself. That's her right.
See, Brother Tahaka, remember, in the scriptures, right? In the so-called scriptures, there's probably 24,000 prophets and prophetess. Probably 24,000 prophet and prophet. But the ones that spoke the loudest were the ones that was heard.
Right.
Polite spoke the loudest, and he put his story out there the loudest. And it's not just because of us promoting. I'm a good promoter, like I said on my show, but he sees an opportunity to open up for these main speakers, and he put out tens of thousands of flyers with me to help pack these events. Right. That's what he did. So to promote himself, he was about himself, his wife, and his business, and his children. That's what he was about. That's all I've seen. So whatever happened to her, She didn't speak loud enough, and she didn't come out there. If she really why didn't she take it to the news? Why didn't she take it to Channel 4? Why didn't she take it to Channel 2? Why did she take it to those major
She
streams?
was a part of a community, and she wanted the community to address it, according to her.
But if the community don't address it,
she was hoping that the community addressed it, but they overlooked it and just advanced POLIGHT, is her point.
But you got to remember,
and I don't want anybody to. I don't want that to slip away.
But remember, she's
not speaking for herself here. But I've spoken to her many times, and her position is that the community abandoned her, although they knew what took place. Like for example, she said everybody in the community are aware of grown men 40 years old having children with 12-year-old and 16-year-old and 17-year-old babies.
That's not.
No, hold up. But if that was true, let's say hypothetically, if that was true, you know what I'm saying? That many people know about these things that goes on, that have went on in the Ansar Law community, or that went on in the Nuwaubian community, and people turn the eye to it and then say, well, nobody, the loudest voice is only going to get heard. But we being conscious is supposed to address those that has been victimized.
Then she needs to, the blame goes to her father, because he taught everybody in that community. So if he's teaching communal and all laws within the community stays within the community, who taught the people in that community that? Because when we was in the Ansar, and I wasn't a Nuwaubian. Matter of fact, one day I came over there just to see what was going on at the store, because they was rebuilding and all that. And I ran into her, and one of the Nuwaubian brothers tried to disrespect me in a certain way. One of the new cats. And she stood up for me and said, you know who this is? This person built this. He helped build this. Don't you ever do. She stood up for me. So she knows who I am. But I'm saying now, if in the Ansar Law community, back in the day, we was our own community security 24/7. We kept all stuff, even when we got attacked by certain people in the masjid or attacked the houses. We didn't call no cops. People that lived on the neighborhood called the cops because they seen the commotion, but we didn't call the cops. We was going to handle our business Sharia law way. That's right there.
That's what I think her problem is.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Nuwaubians didn't know that type of energy. Their Ansars knew that energy. Nuwaubians didn't know that energy.
I got you. Okay.
They don't know that stuff. And she was battling Nuwaubians, not Ansars. That's what I'm saying. And even with her moms.
Let me ask you this off topic a little bit. How do the Ansar grab a different principle from the Nuwaubians when it's taught by the same individual?
Because the Ansars, remember, the Ansars was founded under the Islamic banner of the Sudanese Ansarullah. From him being a descendant of the Mahdi, and him being a descendant through the Mahdi, through the Prophet Muhammad, all that whole silsila, that whole lineage. That's what he taught at that time, and that's when I came in during the Islamic era. Every other era, then it started transferring to Nubian Islamic Hebrews. We had the 10th of Qadar. We had all kinds of stuff. I mean, Doc just had us studying and researching a whole lot of stuff. That's one thing I can show respect. I can definitely respect him. But you got to remember, family. She abandoned her mother and even called the cops on her mother too. So she has problems with her mother also. She has those things with her. She's gone through. There's a whole history you got to deal with behind that.
Well, brother, again.
And remember,
hold up. Again, if somebody's life was threatened with attempted murder and blood on them from their stepbrother,
right, and
whether it was mama, cousin, spiritual uncle, or anybody didn't come to this young lady's aid,
right,
then of course you're gonna have some homegrown problem. And then from the foundation of having a dad with 100 children, all of that plays a part. However, when you are victimized and you don't have one to come to your defense, whether it's your mother, your father, your cousin, your spiritual uncle, you're going to respond in a certain way. I mean,
but Tahaka, I'm sure that there was some of her brothers and sisters that came to try to support her. A lot of them didn't. A lot of them did. There's a lot of them. But if over the years until that point of time, you keep on crying wolf, they're not going. and the wolf, if nothing is happening, you keep on crying wolf until the wolf really comes, they're not going to listen to her. They wasn't listening to her because
no, she was already shot in 2007. You found out in 2009. There is no crying wolf.
No, I'm talking about if she's been going through struggles all of her life up to then. That's what I'm saying. Because remember, her and Polight's the same age. They're not. Right. They're both the same age here. It's not like they're new. They're older. He's older and she's younger. They're the same age. So that's what
talking about. I think it's different when a child is crying wolf and they actually become a victim of attempted murder.
But ask yourself that if she has all these children, after all these siblings, and have all these mothers of these siblings, then why didn't they come to her aid? What was the problem she had with them? There's a problem.
No, but
problem.
let me say something. It may not be the problem with her, because if someone is lives attempted on, regardless of what you go through, you go through their aid. You don't let somebody suffer and die at the hands of a stranger. If that's your family, POLIGHT is a stranger. And anybody who was with him, hold up. POLIGHT is a stranger. And anybody that with POLIGHT is a stranger. So regardless if you go through some family matters, you look out for your family before you look out for a stranger. Right. You ignore or you look out for your family whose life was threatened and attempted on before you look out for or ignore it. That's your family. You don't ignore that. So something wrong with the responder, not the victim.
Of the fact, it's not. Yeah, it's not the.
You respond. If one of the most, I get along with everybody in my family, so I can't really say that everybody loves me. I got a beautiful family. But just say if I had somebody in my family that I couldn't get along with, if something happened to them, I don't ignore it because it's family. Sure.
No, hey, look, I understand that too.
So it's something to the responder, not the victim. We can't blame the victim because the family bond is broke where the responder, who is supposed to be older, wiser, conscious.
But hey, Tahaka, what did I say? Some of the family could have been there and supported her, but probably not enough did. After a while, if you keep on going through controversy and getting into controversy, it's hard to keep, because most of the family left that place alone.
Do you think it was just full of dysfunctional regardless?
I think it's dysfunctional because you have a father that has so many children. You can't, a lot of men can't, in America, you can't handle all these children. Some of these children want some quality time with daddy. Some of them want quality time with mommy and daddy and all that kind of stuff. They want, and then they end up not being able to have good relationship. But going back to the point, remember, most of her family don't even associate themselves with that, especially the ones that are successful. They want the York Empire supposed to be built on another level, man. You know, Jacob did his thing. Thank God he did his thing, and Ish did his thing. They want Umche and everybody else to do their thing. You got the bloodline of a brilliant man. Dr. York was brilliant, photogenic memory, knew how to galvanize people. You take that bloodline and go somewhere else. Let that stuff stay with them, because obviously the people in the Nuwaubian community did not support them no more. That was it. They didn't support them no more. So it's not my fault. I was from her era when she was just a child, and then finding out about all this stuff in bits and pieces again, going back to the point, finding a lot of this stuff and only hearing more of POLIGHT's side of the story because he spoke about it. Even on Vlad TV, he spoke it and mentioned it on a major network. The same thing he's been telling. It's just like the same thing he's been telling about meeting his mother at 17 and his father wasn't there. Same story he's been telling over and over again. So if you constantly bombard a person or people with a lot of the same stories, of course, people resonate with that energy more because he's proven himself to be in the community working. She wasn't a part of that community no more. She went doing her own thing. She wasn't into that community at one time. Then she went to reclaim. That's what she was saying, going to reclaim the property is hers and all that. Hey, if that's the case, then she should have got it. She should have gotten it. But I don't know what happened to her. It's not my thing.
Somebody said, ask him is if his child had sperm of an adult man, is the adult man justified, and what role did he play in helping
the young girl up today.
What do you?
Up
What
to
are you?
today.
What are you talking about?
I think what they're talking about is polite sperm being found on a 14-year-old.
Look, we're not talking about that era. I don't know what y'all went.
So King Simon, I don't want to get too confused in here. Sister just reached out to me and asked for the link, and I don't want no back and forth, and I don't want this.
No, there ain't gonna be no back and forth. She needs, but I want her to put her sister that she called out on. That's who she needs to. She needs to call out. If she call out her.
What I try to do is try to let people have their day and have their speak. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that we can control how one speaks and represent themselves. We can suggest and we can ask. You know what I'm saying? So I want to bring her on and I'm going to allow her to speak. I don't want her to get cut off. And I'm not going to let her cut you off. I'm allow her.
Again, let me say something.
Oh, you're very respectful. You easy to interview, brother.
Again,
put that out there. So this is not for you per se, because you're very respectful to the platform.
Then you can take me off the screen and let her talk.
Cool. But anybody that comes on the platform, I want to know that this is a respectful platform. Right. I'm gonna ask Sister Uma York to respect you, even your perspective. I want it to be respected. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't come on here like a Negro cussing and talking crazy like other people would do. You came on here and expressed yourself, and I appreciate it.
Because I don't have to do that.
You don't. You're a legend in the game. You don't have to do it. Right. But on the flip side, this platform, I'm gonna tell you off the top, King Simon. Right. I champion those who was victimized. You see what I'm saying? And this is why you hear me saying, like, hold up. It's the responder that's the issue. Because you can't blame the one that was victimized and get upset because don't nobody come to their aid. You see,
like I said, maybe some of her family came to the aid. I don't know none of that story. Right. I don't know that story.
We're gonna find out in a minute. I'll pull you out and then I'll let her flow. And let her flow. Oh, you want to stay in?
I can stay in, but I'm gonna let her flow. I'm gonna let her flow. I don't have no. I'm cool. I have no problems with
All right. No problems with it. The great sister Uma York is in the building. How you doing, sis?
Oh, okay. What's up?
What's up, Tahaka? How you doing?
Yeah. How you doing over there?
Simon. I haven't heard anything from you and before or after that whole polite situation up until today, or as a matter of fact, up until the day I contacted you about him being arrested, and you said and I stated exactly what you said to me in message, and which I probably will start to share online so everybody could see what kind of person you really are. Because I feel like you're a very disgusting person for you to be up here talking about how you don't know what I was a troubled child and all of this. First of all, anybody that's experienced the stuff that I've experienced, when your family's begging you to drop charges because of them trying to highlight somebody because they want more money, all of y'all people looked at this whole situation as a way for y'all to make money. And that's it. Y'all didn't care about me being a child that was being tortured or harassed or anything or being shot at. Y'all did not care. Even up until this day, you don't care. You look at this as a platform for you to probably rebuild yourself at this point. And that's really how I look at it. I didn't even want to come up here until I started hearing this stuff coming out of your mouth. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to come up here and defend myself, because y'all not going to keep attacking me and feel like y'all going to attack me on the side end. Now, my family, in regards to my family protected Polite. Why my family protected Polite was because they had their hands in on everything. They were robbing my father blind. These people were literally committing fraud. Okay. These people were committing fraud on the building that my father left for me. Yes, that's how I was. And that's why I was in that building telling people to stop disrespecting you, because they knew my platform in the building. Period.
Let me say, Sister Uma York, I want to thank you, sis, for coming on, because we had quite a few conversations, and you was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And I was like, I respect it. But as you can see, I don't know if I did exactly what I said I would do. When the video leaked, I say, sis, I got to post the video and I got to bring clarification to the video. And I hope that I was able to do that. Simon is a friend of mine through this social media thing. I don't know him of doing any wrong because I wasn't there, you know, and I always seen him do things honorable. I think he deserves a voice. Definitely you deserve a voice because you are the one that has been victimized. But I would pray that I did some justice with your story today, because everything about your story screams that you were victimized and no one came to your aid.
They didn't care because it was all about money to them. All they cared about was how much money they could make off the next person that they could make Jesus Christ, so they could rip off and scam the Black community. That's all they cared about. That's all they cared about. Y'all literally plucked this boy from nowhere. Y'all plucked him from nowhere. Y'all don't know who he was or anything like that. Sakina, you and Sakina literally riled up together and y'all helped to push him on the platform. You too.
I don't know Sakina. I don't know Sakina.
Let her finish. Let her finish.
You know Sakina. You know the whole community knows Sakina, Patricia Lewis. The whole community knows her. My uncle Obar was another one that sat there and supported that shit. And he was one of the people that told me to drop the charges against POLIGHT. Why? Because y'all all had a plan to make money, and that was it. And I was a liability because I was in y'all's way. And that's how I see it. As an adult now, trust me, the picture's clear now.
How old were you in 2007? My math's not that good.
Remember that? Sheesh, I was in my 20s.
Okay, and when you're talking about, because I wanted Saneter was he wanted to represent that he wasn't there during that time, and I was trying to my best, but now that you're here, you're able to do it. I was trying to do my best and say Saneter was not there in that era, but as the time progressed, he was aware, according to you, and he just turned a blind eye because he wanted to make money off of the young phenom potential to make money also. And that's what I tried to clarify. But now that you're here, what do you have to add to saying that Saneter also was a part of the advancing of Brother POLIGHT?
He definitely was a part of the advancing of him. I'm not sure how long he've known him. He hasn't known him from the beginning. King Simon was the one that was originally the person that pushed him up on the platform with my uncle and Patricia Lewis, Sakina. You know, they were the three people that originally did it. Now, in regards to Saneter, when he was pushing POLIGHT on the platform, my younger brother Moody came to him plenty of times and said, you need to hear my sister's side of the story rather than y'all keep idolizing and worshiping this man who's ripping off the community. But these people literally swept it under the rug. My mother personally, and even that day that we did that interview that you had a class with Dr. Sabi, me, my mother, and my brother all came to that class to talk to you. But instead, you wanted to act like a celebrity that day and act like you didn't know us. You told us I will talk to y'all, and you never spoke to us. You never spoke
because
to us.
I was busy. I'm busy handling Sabi's business.
We're supposedly your spiritual family, no matter what.
Y'all have busy.
Y'all have no loyalty. Y'all have no loyalty. There's no loyalty amongst any thieves. That's something I realized in life as I got older. You get what I'm saying? Y'all have no loyalty. That's the reality of it. You know, we really were trying to talk to you about something that was very serious.
May I speak?
I wasn't finished. I was not finished.
Okay.
When I'm finished. Like I said, we were trying to speak to you about something that was very important in regards to the shooting, and you literally disregarded us. Now, go ahead. You can continue.
If you came to Dr. Sabi's lecture that him and I produced, Dr. Sabi and I produced this lecture, I was busy all through that day, period. All through it. Now, y'all could have called me and we would have met somewhere and sat and talked about it, but not at a Dr. Sabi event. It was packed. You was there. It was at the church.
That's the point. If a child is in danger and she feared for her life, the only way I'm gonna talk to y'all is if it's in a packed room full of other evidence, other people to see if anything happened. The reality of it is, if this man, including Polite, was still at the location, you know what I'm saying? If I feared for my life, the only way I'm gonna come around is if I got a whole bunch of people to watch and see what the hell going on. Because at this point, I don't trust nobody. And
but at that, think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying.
I can't even trust my own uncle. I couldn't trust my own aunt. Couldn't trust my own brother, my own sister. Are you serious? Y'all ignored me. Y'all just ignored me. To me, and even if I would have died that day, y'all wouldn't have cared at all. Y'all wouldn't have cared, and I know y'all wouldn't have cared. And I'm clear on that. I'm very clear.
You talking die at what day? When that shooting took place?
Yeah, when Polite tried to kill me that day. Yes.
Again, in 2007, I know nothing about that. Knew nothing about it.
You know, you knew about it. Y'all all
know. See, why you gonna try to throw me? I was busy in the reggae world doing my thing and doing promotion. How would I know anything about what's going on in that community? After I left that community in '88, I had nothing really to do with that, other than your mother making clothes for me. Your mother made clothes for me for my reggae. She knew I was a reggae artist. I was doing reggae music, so I wasn't part of that community, Umkhaya. I don't know none of that stuff until, like I said in the text that I sent you, and I made sure I sent you, it was bits and pieces, and Polite said his story. I only got bits and pieces. This is the most I got from you in conversation over the phone or in my face.
And you never thought to say to yourself, let me hear what Umkhaya had to say? Since she was a child, you didn't care to say, let me hear what she had to say?
You was 24 when that happened with you and Polite, right? Was it right? Now, and you just said you came to me at a packed place with 500 people with Dr. Sabi to come talk to me when your mother has my number and you can get my number and we could talk privately without Polite and nobody, and then I could find out more. You could have called me. But it's the drama that you like. You like drama, and that's cool. You can like drama all you want. It's good.
Hold up, sister Uma. But her life was attempted to be taken. I don't think that's like a drama. I mean,
I'm talking about. Hold on, Tarak. I'm talking about her coming to a big event that me and Sabi produced.
Right.
Sabi and I produced that event. I was busy handling his products. I was handling the door. I was handling everything in there. Everything.
Let me ask you this, King Simon. Was you a true spiritual uncle, or was that just a title that was given with no substance? Because if you are a true spiritual uncle, everything
that's a title she threw out there just last week, just on your interview. We've been friends. I've been a friend with her mother for years, and everybody in the community is considered a protector of those people. Remember, she was born in '83. I joined the community in '84.
Hold up, Brother Simon. Earlier you did say that, yes, I was her spiritual uncle because I've known her since she was a baby.
Because I know as a child.
So that's what I'm asking. So that's what I'm asking you. Not what she said. I'm asking you, was that a title with some essence and principle, or was it a title of no substance? Because if it's a title with essence and principle, it just seemed logical that if she shows up at an event with 1 million people, she deserved the attention because she's been victimized and she wants some answers, whether it's a year later, 2 years later, or 3 years later. You know what I'm saying?
It's a title with substance because every brother in that community can be considered a spiritual uncle. People like Wali could have been a spiritual uncle. People like Suleiman could have been a spiritual uncle. Who they were, because they all seen this girl come into this realm. Now, coming at an event like that without even contacting me first to say, can I speak?
Hold on, Sister Uma, let her speak. Give her a minute to speak, and then I'm gonna let you speak. And Saneter just came in the building. I don't want to turn this into
bring him in.
No. I just don't want to turn this into a circus. So we're gonna have to respect everybody and everybody speak one at a time. I'm telling you now, everybody know that I'm for the person that was victimized, and I think you would agree that she was victimized. However, I'm not going to be biased and lose perspective of the role you may have played
in this relationship. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
the perspective is that if you are her spiritual uncle, and it's a title of substance, no matter what's going on, I would say that you respond. But that's me, and I get it. You're a businessman. You know what I mean? You got to pay your bills. I get that part too. But so let
Hold on. Like I said, at Sabi's lecture, they could have called me before that lecture happened. Could have called me after. We could have set that up. I got no problem setting up meetings and talking to people. Got no problems to find out what's the truth about what's going on. Because I didn't get all it. Like I said, I've been getting bits and pieces all this time up to this day. I'm still getting bits and pieces. Still getting bits and pieces.
Right.
What's up?
None of y'all.
Now, sister Uma York, we got Saneter in the building. I'm gonna let you flow real quick, and then I'm gonna open it to Saneter, and then hopefully we can close out with some closure right here. That would be nice.
You know, the more I look at it, to be honest with you, the whole organization from Ansar Allah, you know, down to the Nubians, everybody got something to hide, whether they were touching on children or grooming children to be touched on or anything like that, you know. And I feel like that's the thing. Y'all want to tear me down no matter what. But you know what? This story right here, or just me talking about, is gonna pull out a whole bunch of people out the woodwork. So trust and believe you me, King Simon. If you touch somebody, they probably gonna come out of the woodwork too. So.
I never did that, so that's cool.
Yeah,
I never did that in my life. Never
Let
did
me
that in
say,
my life.
somebody in the chat says she is still hurting, but she can only blame POLIGHT, not others. In fact, I've talked to Uma York, and she don't pull no punches. She calls the whole community out. You just heard her for the last 10 minutes. I've talked to her for hours on end, and she don't pull no punches. She haven't even she don't cover for her father. She states what the law said about her father. She does it, but you don't know her. So now those in the comment section that make these comments, you have to get to know her and hear her full story, which I heard a good portion of it. But even she said to me, she's like, that ain't nothing.
It's not.
That's nothing. Let me bring Saneter in. Saneter, are you there?
Peace, you hear me?
Yeah, where you at? I can't see you.
Because I ain't got my camera on right now.
Why not?
Because I don't want to, brother. I'm laying in the bed relaxing, brother.
You know the rules. You have the rules that you put your camera on.
Yeah, but I'm laying in the bed relaxing right now, brother.
But I told you earlier though.
Right. But listen, I'm only gonna be here for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. That's it. That's all I need. First of all, I want to say, to the sister, I never met the sister. Mm-hmm. I don't know who she's talking about. I was nowhere around at that time dealing with POLIGHT. I never knew POLIGHT. POLIGHT was too scared to come to 125th Street at that time. So I never met him. I've always been doing my own thing. And when the sister say her brother came to me, I don't remember that at all. And he came to me and said, what? I'm too busy out there doing my thing, working, teaching, helping the community on that street with the bullhorn. So I don't know nothing about that. At this time, there was no YouTube. I was on the street. It was nothing about making money. I was on the street selling my own DVDs. So I'm just tired of people keep throwing my name in crazy stuff, man. I never met this sister. I don't know what she's talking about.
And hold up, Sister Uma York. I want to bring clarity. What she's saying is that once POLIGHT was elevated, that you may have heard the story that POLIGHT attempted to kill the sister, or there was a shooting or something, and it was.
I never heard that story till this day.
Okay, I got it.
Now I did hear the story about POLIGHT having some beef with the son of Dr. York, but I never knew nothing about this sister until you interviewed them. Never.
Right.
People just turning the stories around, Lord. So good.
So, sister, you know me? You know me?
And there's no telling.
Hold up. Let me ask you a question. Do you know me, sis?
No, I don't know you.
You ever spoke to me?
Nope, never spoke to you.
Did you ever see your brother speak to me?
I never seen my brother. I seen one of my.
All right, then. So why are you saying I'm telling a story? I don't even know you.
No. See, you're not listening to what I said. What I said is these stories are being twisted around. For all I know, POLIGHT could have told you that, you know, he had beef with my brother. But
okay. I see what you're saying.
The problem was with me. He shot my brother because because like I explained to Tahaka earlier, the lights was out in Bushwick Avenue because I refused to continue paying these bills with these people squatting on the property. So the lights was out. And when they asked me to come downstairs to do this meeting that never happened, you know, my brother went downstairs because it was the night of the Eid, and he ended up getting shot twice in the head. You know what I'm saying? So these people are twisting the stories around here and there, and they doing whatever they doing for their convenience. That's really what's going on here.
So let me
Wow, that's crazy. See, I never even heard that before, for real.
Let me chime in. Saneter.
Yeah.
Polite takes this story to DJ Vlad. And before he even elevated to the DJ Vlad level, you're saying you never heard this story before?
I never heard the story.
Because
I
it
never.
was so easy for him to flow off his tongue with DJ Vlad.
All right, hold on. Listen for a minute. Hold on, King Simon.
I want Saneter to talk. Go ahead.
Let me try to explain something to you, Tahaka.
No, go ahead. The floor is yours. I'm only asking the question.
Okay, well, let me answer the question. See, you are the one that's really interested in Polite. I never watch Polite on video. Never. I never watched none of his videos.
That's not the question, because I'm not
interested. Well, I'm answering. You said he was on Vlad. I know he was on Vlad, but I never watched him.
No, it's the
principle. Why do I need to watch him?
Principally understand what I'm saying. Not that you watch him. It's the point that he told the story so fluently on Vlad. King Simon said that he told the story many times. So I'm asking that, have you, although King Simon said he told the story many times, he told the story on Vlad, I'm saying that you never heard the story.
But I'm trying to tell you, my brother, listen to me good and clearly.
You good. The floor is yours. Take it away, brother.
I have never heard Polite talk about the sister. I heard Polite shooting Dr. York's son. That's all I heard. They got into a scuffle, and that's the part I heard. Maybe he ain't want me to hear the other part about the sister. I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't know nothing about that until like just now, brother.
Yeah. Right. If you see how small my brother is, there was no scuffle. He literally just shot at my brother. My brother, up until this day, this man looks like a non-threatful person to anybody that sees him.
And let me say this to Saneter. Saneter, I think I've said quite a few times that you wasn't even fitting in that era right there during that time. I said this yesterday. I said it today, and I said the sister said, I believe Saneter knows, and I underscored it that I believe Saneter knew, because people may have reached out to him, but he continued to still try to advance Polite.
Right. Now, let me tell you this, brother.
So that's what I'm saying. But
let me say this, because a lot of people get a lot of stuff twisted. Right. When you say I tried to advance Polite, I never tried to advance Polite. King Simon broke it down so beautiful. Polite advanced himself. Polite was more interested in making his own moves. Y'all keep making it look like me and Polite were partners. No, I was the man on 125th Street who everybody came to see, to get they shit video. Sorry for cursing. To get documented, to get footage. And that's what I was. I never hung out with Polite. I never went in the airplane with Polite. We never got in the airplane together. We never hung. We ain't do none of that.
Well, hold up,
so a lot of people is mixing up a lot of crazy stuff right now.
Hey,
they would come to me to get filmed, like Dr. Umar, like everybody else.
Let me play the angel's advocate. You say you was never partnered with Polite, but you know to just be open. You did mention that y'all partnered up with business and Polite robbed you. So
okay, that is a fact, and everybody knew that. I said that. I don't make no mistake about that.
No. So what I'm saying, that brother Saneter, that if you never partner and you never was anything with Polite, but you've been into a business relationship, I think what this sister is saying, that everybody tried to help advance Polite so they can set the stage in order to grab the bag.
Okay.
That's the I don't know what right or wrong, but I think that's the position.
I don't know.
I think Saneter.
Yeah, somebody hacked my Instagram account, my Uma York Instagram account, and they're begging people for money. So,
that's the one that somebody sent something from your Instagram account about Bitcoin.
yeah, somebody hacked my account.
Sent me something. Yeah.
Yeah, and anybody that knows me know I'm not a vagabond. I ain't asking nobody for nothing.
So let me let Saneter continue to represent his position, because I want to make sure that we do like Fox News, fair and balanced.
Fox, why are you saying Fox? Don't even say Fox.
That was just a joke. Yeah, this is Uma York. I think I need to get Saneter a little bit more time though, so we can.
I want to mention something before you do so though.
Okay,
I want to mention, because I just got off the phone with my brother, and what he said was he said specifically it was Simon that he spoke to, and that he spoke to Simon about the situation. He said I thought it was, he said I got the name mixed up. He said, but it's not Saneter. He said it's just that, you know, Saneter was
thank you, sis.
a lot and stuff like that. So it wasn't Saneter, it was King Simon that he said he mentioned it to over and over to, and Simon did nothing about it.
So let me say that. Hey, Saneter,
yeah.
Just like I told you on the phone, I say, hold up a second. We don't need to jump to conclusion. We're gonna be responsible and we're gonna be respectable with another. And there it go.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, sister. For
I apologize.
Now you got to hit the cash app. Now I'm playing.
All right, that's all I wanted to say, man.
But Saneter, I thank you for coming on. You're very brave to come on the best and toughest, largest channel and conscious community media, right?
Nah, I think this is the weakest channel for me. The toughest is Saneter Studios. Everybody's scared of that. You still hurt for me beating up the boss. You still hurt for me.
Y'all can't help yourself, man. Y'all can't help yourself.
Peace, everybody, peace, man.
But no, I do appreciate, and I don't care what anybody say about how, you know, me and Saneter go back and forth, and 1 minute we talk, 1 minute we don't. I don't even really care about none of that, because at the end of the day, if one will respect me and they will redeem themselves from the disrespect, I can't do nothing but accept it as a man, and I don't have to say nothing else to them, and I can still hold the disrespect, and when I see them, put the big hand on them. I ain't got to tell everybody that on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? But I still want to have a conversation that can bring some healing forth. Bring forth some healing, and that's what I want to do. So let me yield the floor back to Uma York. Uma York, here you go. You said that everybody, and you made a blanket statement that everybody in the community were aware of the child molestation and the young people being pregnant by the older men, and
that's a fact.
And with King Simon, with the history in the community, I asked him, was he aware of any of that? He said no. By the time that Nuwapian came in effect, he was off doing his reggae thing. But are you of the thought that even brothers like King Simon was aware of these crazy acts?
They had to be aware. I mean, I had sisters that were as young as 12 years old that had babies, you know, so that's gotten pregnant. And that was during Ansar Law community days. There were young girls that were running away during Ansar Law community days at the ages of 14 and 15 years old. So they're totally aware of whatever was happening. And I'm sure a lot of other people were aware of it as well. And the reality of it is the Nuwabian nation still harbors these pedophiles. And that's a fact. A lot of people are aware of it. They could try to brush it up under the rug all they want, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to start adding up people's kids' ages, and you start looking at the ages of what they are right now. It doesn't take, trust me, I did the math myself on plenty of people, and I'm not going to say no names because, you know, once again, these people are in my family, you know, so
let me underscore that. I told people when they was trying to say, well, what about the family? What about this? I said the sister don't hold back, but y'all haven't heard the story yet. The sister don't hold back. So, and she just said, and Simon, as I told you earlier, that she mentions everything. She from
No,
what
I mean, I know. Look, I know says what she means and mean what she says, and like I said, I respect that.
And I know it's other sides that's good. Let me say this to Sister Uma York. I told Sister Uma today, I say, sis, you know there are going to be other sides that's going to come out, and they're going to want to respond. And
these people have been harassing me my entire life. I don't care.
And what also what you said to me is like, this is my story. It is what it is. I'm just going to tell it how it is.
Can I ask Uma a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Have I ever harassed you?
Have you ever harassed me?
Yes.
I mean, to be honest with you, no, you've never harassed me, but you didn't protect me as my quote unquote spiritual uncle.
Yeah.
You didn't even care to hear my story. So that's just as bad. You literally highlighted this person that traumatized me. So you just as bad as the person committing the crime to me.
Like I said, and before you came on, your uncle co-signed him and a reverend co-signed him in 2009. That's why he was put on Sabi's stage.
Yeah,
that's why he helped promote me. He helped promote the event also. He put in that type of work. That's what I respected for him. That's all I respected of him and his family. That's all I respected of that much of his family.
Yeah, so you basically did it off the strength of my uncle, not my father, huh?
No. It's two elders that came to me to put him on.
I don't know the other elder. We're speaking about my uncle.
Your father, I don't know what his relationship was with POLIGHT at all.
He didn't have a relationship with POLIGHT at all. He don't know him.
Now according to POLIGHT, and he has written books and have your father's handwriting in the book that he has been writing him, your father. That's according to POLIGHT,
and
not me.
I've been telling people for years that people have been Adobe Photoshopping picture letters and all of this stuff for years. You think people have been creating their own letters for years saying my father said. My father, when you look up his court case, he cannot conduct any business at all. So that means that anything being said after he was locked up is null and void.
Now, I don't know none of that.
But this is a fact. All you had to do was research in the FBI database. Call the prison where he's at, because I was calling them all the time.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So people were making shit up. Sister Sakina making shit up. My father told the last words my father said to people was, leave Bushwick alone. And the first thing them people did was come run and storm the Bushwick. And the reason why he said leave Bushwick alone, because I was there. But nobody cared about that. All y'all did was come and attack his child. That's it. And my father been trying to protect me ever since my sister shipped me off in the middle of the night.
Well, you know,
that's something else that's between them and the family. That's a lot of stuff going on with that family.
Years later, she apologized to me like as if I was supposed to just, accept that apology after going through the foster care system, running from home to home. A child is not going to forget about something like that.
Well, let me do this, Sister Uma York. We have discussed that. Remember when I said maybe Thursday, if you're ready, we do an interview. Would you like to come back and start from the beginning and talk to the people tomorrow?
Tomorrow, whoa.
Well, sleep on it, sis. Sleep on it, sis.
It's a lot. I didn't even. No, because
it's good. Let me say this. I want to thank, because I got to wrap. I want to thank King Simon. I think King Simon is very courageous to come and answer some of these things. Listen, at the end of the day, we all looking for closure and we all looking for healing. Let's be for real. And I don't care what spectators say. I think anybody that's my true audience of Moorish World TV, we always looking to expose the predator. We always looking to expose the scammer. But ultimately, in exposing anybody, we also looking for healing. Now, I don't see where healing can't be met right in this situation, but maybe not right now. And I'm talking about between you and Simon, Brother Simon, King Simon. However, I don't see, I don't see it's as unreachable. You know what I'm saying? But what I would like to do, I would like to invite you back if you feel up to it. And I tell people what I've heard speaking to Uma York, as I told her today, it will save many, many, many lives because her experience is the way she tells the story. It paints a picture. It paints a picture where if one looking, they will be able to look at it as if they looking in the mirror and able to take the proper actions and move forward or move, whatever you call move forward, whether with the authorities. Because Uma had mentioned to me that they had been groomed. People like, well, where's the police? Where's the police? She said they have been groomed not to talk to the police. So these people that's saying that, why don't you go to the police? Why don't you go to the police? Well, the police got involved, but they were ultimately groomed not to deal with the police. And you would have to be in that type of environment to understand. So you can't blame sis.
Yeah, if the police came down on us when we was in the Ansars, then there would be a captain that will confront the police officers and deal with what was going on in the community. If police was called. I do remember that from back in the 80s. Right. I remember that.
And I also
I got called all kinds of snitches and stuff like that just for even calling the cops for POLIGHT while my brother was leaking on the goddamn floor. So excuse my language, so people attack me consistently just for even calling ambulance, police, just to have that going on in the house. Now, and even my own brothers and sisters, down to my own family. You know what I'm saying? I've been harassed throughout my entire family with this situation, and I've tried my best to just keep a certain composure, even up until this day. You know what I'm saying? I get called and spoken about, because of this interview and stuff like that, being harassed up until this day, getting a call the same time you sent me a text message at 4:00 in the morning is the same time I get somebody harassing me from California. You get what I'm saying? On the phone. Yeah. I don't think that was a coincidence. You text me, my mother texted me talking about she wanted nothing to do with me. And I just thought that was interesting. I mean, it's not like, we, like you said, it's not like we had a tight relationship anyway. You know what I'm saying? Our relationship went downhill a long time ago, I guess, and I've done nothing but try to rekindle relationships with my mother. But I feel like my mother's also been traumatized by this organization as well. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame her for because she was young when she got into this organization. And that's how I look at things. I try my best to overlook and try to look at the positive side of situations. But you know what? I've been standing alone and pretty much alone by myself for the longest. And my father knew that. You know what I'm saying? My mother, when I was living with my father, my mother, she said it to me. I couldn't afford our place where we were staying at. That's why I gave you to your father. And when I got shipped back, see, my sister didn't know that when she called herself shipping me off in the middle of the night. She thought she was sending me back to my mother, but she didn't know the agreement that my mother and my father had was for my father to keep me. You get what I'm saying? And so
Uma York, I want to stop right there because it's 12 o'clock. But let me tell you something, sis. Please, if you could sleep on it and we can continue tomorrow, you know what I'm saying?
Can I say something?
And start from the beginning, because you just clarified something that people say, well, how did she end up in this and how did he end up in that? And I think it'll be so nice if you'll be able to just go and give the full story as opposed to bits and pieces, what you can. You know what I'm saying? But I salute you, sis. You, woo!
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
To whatever, I want to apologize to you for whatever had transpired over the years. Honestly, because like I said, I only got bits and pieces of this. And if you felt that I was not adhering to and listening to y'all enough, that was just what happened during that time. But I do apologize for whatever hurt you've been through, because a lot of us moved into that community at a young age. I got tableeked into that community at 16. I got in there at 17, 18 years of age. So a lot of us came there because we didn't have a father in our life or a mother wasn't in our life and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of us came in that community hurt and looking for a father figure like your father. I wrote my own father who wasn't in my life in red ink. And anybody who knows when you write in red ink what it is that it was blood. It was people like Dr. York and Elijah Muhammad and people that made me become a man that I am. And when I was in that community, they shipped me off to Cleveland and Philadelphia because of the hatred of security and people around me. So if you was too young, I was named, your father named the reggae group Pazion after his group, Passion. And I recorded in his studio when you was probably 3 years old, because I recorded in 85. And that's why, when I got shipped off because of people didn't want to support, it wasn't him. It was people in there that just hated me and then sent me to Philly and sent me to Cleveland. So a lot of things. And then I left in 88. I was gone. And I went and became a top reggae artist in 89. I left. I do apologize for whatever hurt you've been through. That's what
I hear you. I hear your story and stuff, and I agree. Now, I do want to mention one thing. Now, in regards to my father being incarcerated, any books that was produced after he was incarcerated, y'all need to not honor, because he was incarcerated. He couldn't have written any of these books. Another thing is stop supporting that organization. These people are making money, and these people are literally taking that money and putting it in their pockets. They're not doing it for the sake of the organization or anything. They're doing it for themselves. The lady Sakina, Patricia Lewis, and I'm sure a lot of people going to say they got scammed by her. You know what I'm saying? That's another woman that need to be bought up out the bag. And not for nothing, some of the people in my family, they know what they've been doing. Everybody know what they've been doing for years. This ain't nothing but a whole money thing to them. And that's about it. And it's sad because the whole purpose was to help and save the children. But instead, y'all ignored and abused the children.
I know I had no part in abusing any children. So I already know.
I had a part in ignoring them.
Because I know I had to do security for y'all. I had to protect y'all.
I don't remind you. I remember Salahuddin being somebody that used to walk me to school. So, and he still talked to me to this day, asking me, do I need security? Right. He still talked to me till this day, asked me, do I need security? So that's somebody that was clearly a person that supported my father to the T. He made sure, he still try to make sure I'm good.
Mm-hmm. So respect to Salahuddin. I haven't seen him in years. Like I said, I was out of there in 88. I don't know.
Well, family, Sister York, I'm going to call you tomorrow and see if you feel up to it. But let me just say, thank you so much for joining us tonight, sis. Again, King Simon and Saneter and everybody watching, I champion those who has been victimized, because they normally in these type of situations normally don't even have a voice. Like,
because there was a ball dropped here. There must have been a ball, especially amongst the children being protected more, because children did get molested in that community. But I didn't know none of that.
Before I close, let's look at what POLIGHT is accused of today. Okay. Everybody making videos about POLIGHT, but because the child is 14 years old, he make videos every day to blindside people that it's all good, that he's still living his best life.
And they probably blame
the 14-year-old. Nobody heard the 14-year-old voice. Nobody know if the 14-year-old is in counseling. Nobody know if the 14-year-old can withstand to be around her uncle, her father. Nobody knows. You see what I'm saying? But we get to turn on Instagram, and this guy is parading around scantily clad sisters and acting as if he living his best life, buying bogus $600 hats and posing in front of some rented Bentley as if that impresses the world. While this young child, nobody hears. So I champion those that has been victimized, like Black Hourglass that's been on the show. Anybody watch the show? Mommy Goddess, the young sister that was taken advantage of by, and I'm not going to mention her name, but was taken advantage of by I guess you would call it molestation or rape. by these weirdos that's supposed to be fighting for the cause of the people, and they take advantage of the people and those militias and all of that. So, but I thank everybody for coming through. Simon, you know, I appreciate you for coming through. I appreciate anybody that come on Moorish World TV, because I'm going to ask the hard questions. Everybody know now. I'm going to ask the hard questions.
It was good to hear fully from her voice finally. Because like I said, it was bits and pieces. That's all I had. That's all I can say. And
we will return to this. We will return to this. I'm gonna allow Sister Uma York to whenever she's ready to get an interview. I think I'm getting pretty good at this interview thing, and I gotta let Sister get it out.
We got all healed. That's all. I know we got a lot of healing. And look, hey, I've been tortured by my girl cousins when I was a baby too, when I was young. So I know what this is. So Absolutely. I know that's why I don't support molestation or pedophilia. Don't do that. You know, so and the only time I went to jail was fighting for my mother. So I know what this is. You got to protect. And, you know, like I said, I apologize for whatever ball that I dropped back in those days. I could only apologize for that. For that. Anything else that Polite done, he got to deal with that. He got to face his people. He got to face all these people eventually.
Thank you, big brother. I appreciate you.
Peace.
All right.
Sister Uma.
Yes, I'm here.
Uma, I want to thank you again. I want to thank you, your family, husband, significant other, and whoever support you for being a support system, so you can tell the story before over 2,000 people. This is when it goes down, it's probably be over 8,000 or 3,000, or tomorrow be 14,000. And it takes a lot of courage. I think that you are a champion to stand in front of the people. And I just want to thank you and your support system because you need some support to tell this story. So I know they got to be there somewhere. And I want to thank them also, because it takes us all. You know what I'm saying? We had this saying in the Moon Science Temple of America that every living thing is bound by cords to every other living thing. And we are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breasts of one mother have given you stuck. In other words, we are all connected. And those who connect to you, that support you, you know, they deserve gratitude and thanksgiving for supporting you as you stand up before this opposition. And I want to thank you, sis. I appreciate you and your support system. All right.
Definitely.
And I'll call you tomorrow. All right.
All right. Peace, brother.
All right. Peace.
And peace to everybody watching. You know, hope y'all keep your children safe.
Indeed. Indeed. So with that being said, family, that's another one. That's another one. That's another one in the can. Come on, man. How can them bottom feeders? How can them bottom feeders? They don't have integrity to do this. She'll be back tomorrow, and I get all her Cash App information and everything. And you know what I'm saying? I'll make sure we get it, and I'll put it in. How can these bottom feeders talk about Brother Tahaka Bay? How can these bottom feeders? They can't attract people that will share their story to help make a difference. Somebody say, how can we be free? Do your part and help making a difference. I got a voice. My channel has a voice. Thanks to you. And thanks to the bottom feeders for keep saying my name. And now everybody will come here to see what it's all about. Let me see if I can, before I go, what's your Cash App? I'm about to put it in there right now. I'm gonna text her. I'll give myself 5 more minutes, see if she put it in the thing. And this is what I'm telling y'all about these people that's trying to produce content on me, off of me. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I'm a stand-up guy. I'm a stand-up guy, and I champion those who has been victimized. I champion those that are upright. If I find out that you are sitting beside me and you are not right, I'm going to pay attention. And ultimately, if I conclude that you're not right, I'm going to get away from you. So I don't care what people say. Oh, they cool, et cetera, et cetera. They cool until Tahaka disagree. No. Once I find out you're not right,
You can forget about it. She said, who said this? I said, the audience. The viewers. She asked, who wants her Cash App? The viewers want your Cash App. The viewers want the Cash App. They want to support you. They want to support you. They asked for the Cash App. So I'm doing filler conversation so I can get the Cash App. But that's what I'm saying though, family. And so invite people to here, talk about me, that say that I'm a scammer, say all these things. And when I pull up with the Morse Road TV truck, you're gonna be looking crazy. You be looking crazy. And hey, listen, when I first pre-interviewed the sister, I already knew that it was gonna be a doozy. You know what I mean? All right, here we go. Let me see if I can throw it up in here. This is Sister Cash App for anybody want to support the sister. Uma York, LLC. Hey, put it up in here a couple times. Mods, make sure y'all spread this Cash App a couple times because quite a few people ask about it. And so if y'all able to share it a couple times, I'm going to copy it and make sure. Yeah. Man, I appreciate the sister. This is a serious story. I also have other people. As I told Sister Uma York, that there's going to be other people that will respond. It may be family members, it may be sisters, it may be aunts, it may be cousins, because we got to understand there's a whole 150 people, you know what I'm saying, here that is children of Dr. York. So many people may come out mad at Uma York, and I told them that I told her that, you know, on my platform, I try to make sure that everybody has a voice. You know what I'm saying? That's what I try to do. Try to make sure that everybody has a voice. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important that everybody have a voice. You know what I'm saying? I think so. I think so. Please keep catching it. Interview Prince York. I'll look for him.
So listen. We are the goddess of the nation. There is no need to respond to those who feed on those who bleed. We don't respond to bottom feeders. We step on them. We move past them. They have no originality. They have no content. They have no backbone. They have nothing. We are the new leaders of this YouTube thing. We're watching while everyone trying to catch up. But we've been long gone. What we doing now, we've always been doing. You just caught up. But you're far behind, with 20 steps ahead of you. So keep making your videos and making me popular. And I'll keep creating new content to take it to another level. Keep me in your algorithms. It's a new day. And nothing you can do to stop it. You dig? Islam.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember.
Hey family, I want to thank Nicole Moore. I want to thank Nicole Moore for the Cash App. I want to thank Jessica Holmes. I want to thank Angela Howard. I want to thank Darren F. Who else? Who else I got? Williamson. I want to thank everybody who hit the Cash App in the past. I want to thank my brother M. Nugent. I want to thank my brother, original people, Sean, Cryptonomics, and everybody. If I miss you, I get you next time. I get you next time. But I got you now.
Here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people talk European how to bathe and look at that women by European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty, Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for dough. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you kill and fight and marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moore's world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moore's world, come on and build it with me. Let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. That time.
We gonna keep y'all haters mad. We gonna keep y'all mad. We gonna stay happy. And we're going to keep y'all mad. Thank you, Cryptonomics. Thanks all y'all for all y'all support. And I will see you tomorrow night. And hopefully, that's if my sister, Uma York, will give us the exclusive after she sleep on this one. Peace and love, family. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all the super chats. If I didn't call you, I was trying to get the interviews in. Thank you. Thank you. I was trying to get the questions in. Thank you for everything, family. And look, give the haters a round of applause whenever you go in their chat. That'll be our sign, the hand clap. Give them a whole bunch of hand claps. Whenever you go in their chat, don't make a comment. Give them a hand clap because they helping us. Thank you so much, family. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. That time. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Harker Bay front line till the law call my number.